What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about a video I saw on King Gonda's channel where there's a young African YouTuber who says he's done helping the diaspora repatriate to Africa. And when I saw the video, right, and I recognized the guy because I've seen him way back when he used to be on Dinah's show a lot, you know, and he used to advertise his services and stuff. He's been over for quite a while, and he's one of the originals of our era who were trying to, you know, help African Americans and other people get to the continent. And then y'all remember, if some of y'all may remember, I did a video on why I don't sell land in Africa, right? Because the truth is, for all of us enthusiastic Pan-Africans who really want to help our people, we know it's really hard to help family. It's hard to help people, right? Because people have these lofty ideas of Africa, right? They have a romanticized idea of Africa, and they forget that there's an actual process, administrative process to doing all these things, right? And that, you know, there's no middleman that's going to be able to give you a total package and completely take you to Africa, set you up completely and totally, and you don't have to do anything but pay a certain amount of money, and everything is there for you, and everything is right, and everything's peachy and cream. It just doesn't happen like that. That doesn't happen in the real world. You know, in the real world, if you wanted to move to another state, you have to, you know, do all the due diligence yourself. You would have to go through the ups and downs of the contract negotiations yourself. You would have to make sure that all paperwork is legit yourself. You literally have to do this. And there's the risk in relocating anywhere, right? So it's no different in Africa. You know, the only difference is, the only difference is there's a different system yet in a different dynamic you have to deal with. Another issue that we can have as people, especially the ones like me, myself, we put ourselves out here on the internet. We can easily, people like myself and various other YouTubers, because I'm trying to tell you guys, you really don't make as much. There's money in YouTube, but in this particular genre in which certain people have decided the route we tried to go, there's no money in this. Really, you may get a couple dollars, you can probably pay your cell phone bill, but you really have to be doing this for the passion. And the problem with doing it for the passion is you'll have a disgruntled individual, right, who may have not got everything that they wanted, who may have ran into an obstacle, and instead of just troubleshooting it themselves, right, they may blame you for it. Or there may be a piece within the apparatus that you set up for them that goes wrong. And instead of just, you know, dealing with that or coming to you privately, they're going to go on the internet and they're going to blast you out and make you seem like you're some sort of scammer. And the last thing that we want to do is ruin our reputation because you have a disgruntled customer, right? Any business, you'll always have disgruntled customers, period. You can't be perfect to everybody all the time. It doesn't matter if you provide 5-star service or not, right? You will eventually have a customer where things didn't go their way, and, you know, they're going to go on the internet and they're going to bash you. Some people don't really care. And we, as Pan-Africans, what we have to realize is that we may care more about the people than they actually care about us. You see, you have to go into this, if you're going to get into that, you have to go into it knowing that the people you care about may not really care about you as much, not the way you care about them. And we hold these people to the same Pan-African standards as we hold ourselves, to where we believe that, oh, we're gonna work together, we're not gonna talk trash about each other, we're gonna go through all this together. In actuality, a lot of this, you know, a lot of it is just transactional. It's a black person who wanna pay for your services to get this thing done. If it doesn't, they're gonna treat you like trash, right? And they're gonna bash you the same way they would bash anybody else. Whether they go in a restaurant and they got misproper, they didn't get good service, or whether the food was cold, whatever, they're gonna bash you, right? And unfortunately, in our society, people take the bashing to the next level. Most people, they'll grab onto a story and they'll add their own pieces to it. They'll embellish it to satisfy the YouTube algorithm, right? And then everybody jumps on it because they want to get a piece of that YouTube algorithm money too. It's like scavengers, like vultures jumping on a story, right? And before you know it, you have a person that had good intentions to bring their people over to Africa to experience what it's like to be home, to experience what it's like to be with their people. And before you know it, they're now all of a sudden categorized as a scammer, as a 304 or whatever that is, as a Yahoo boy. And then now your reputation is ruined, right? So what that does is it makes people question your business, question your motives, And then it may make it stop somebody who really needed your help, who really could have used your service, from actually using it, because they've been tricked by these individuals who decided they wanted to bash you, instead of just, being objective and saying, yeah, it was good service, but this happened, or, I tried to resolve it, this and this and this. It's hard to please people, right? It's hard to please people. And some people, they get into the business hoping for gratification from the people that they want to help. And the truth is, there's if you're going into these type of businesses expecting to receive gratification, from the people you're trying to help, you're going to be sorely disappointed, right? Because we as black people love to project our expectations on other black people, right? If you're the exception to the rule, if you're exceptional, or you have this, if you're able to think in 4D while everybody else is thinking in 2D, then, and if you see things that other people don't see, you can't expect them to see what you see or to understand the world the way you understand it, right? Very risky. And I understand why a guy's gonna give up, because it's like, he doesn't have to do that. You understand? There are black people, the thing is, you had year return, right? But before that, black people have established themselves in Ghana for over 20 years. There's black people been in Ghana. This is not a new thing. It's just a new thing people are just hearing about. But black people have been secretly, African Americans have been secretly, for the last 10, 20 years, going to Africa and establishing themselves quietly, without notifying the rest of the diaspora. Why? Because we understand how people are, and it's not just a black thing, right? But the difference is, with white people and Asian people, when one individual does something, since they don't have a communal mindset as a group of people by default, it's just Brad, it's just Choi, it's just Tom, it's just them, It's not the community. But for black people, because we can't help ourselves but to think in a communal way, we're going to say, look what you did to make us look bad. Look what you did to make us look bad. No matter what we do, whether we're being negative or positive to our community, we still look at it from a communal mindset. And we just hold everybody to the standards at which us individuals are holding ourselves to. And then we hold the whole community to that standard. So when they don't meet it, now we talking trash, right? Now we want to belittle. And now the YouTube algorithm like that. And now I'm making money from belittling them. And now I'm going to do it again because I made a bunch of money. And then you got a repetitive cycle of back and forth. Before you know it, the movement is ruined. Everybody's distracted about things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So I make sure when I set up any of my stuff, especially when I start my live, I know I keep saying that, but I am going to do it, But when I start my lives and we start connecting, because I'm just, I got a bunch of people on my email who have businesses and they're looking for partners and all that stuff, and I got, I'm looking for investors, and I'm doing all that in the background. I just want to bring it, but before I bring it to the forefront, it has to be a disclaimer. Hey, look, look, if I put you two together and they work out, great. You guys get the credit for that portion. I take the credit for creating a platform for you guys to meet. But if something go wrong, don't come saying, oh, Afro Think Tank and his Afro Think Tank Bridge Parkway is all because of him and this happened to me and blah, blah, blah. No. You are a grown adult, all right? And you make your own grown decisions, and you're going to do that. I am just a medium to help you guys meet, and after that, you do your own thing, right? Because the thing is, no matter how much you love your people, we all know there's pieces of shit within our community, right? We can't pretend like there's not pieces of shits in our community that look to take advantage of the community, right? Like, look at, I dare call Brother Polite, quote unquote, brother my ass, right? Brother Polite is a really intelligent guy who's been a scammer this whole time, right? He took advantage of the community, right? Took advantage of them, and he used his intelligence to draw people in. And then once he knew he had them, he went along and started grifting them and stealing their money. And then he did something even more unthinkable, right? Which he just played guilty for, which I'm not even going to talk about. But he did something more unthinkable, which goes against everything he said he was about, right? Those are scammers. And people like him, because we're a community, make the whole conscious community look bad. It's like, oh, if you notice, if you look at Sonetta, a lot of these scammers and grifters and evildoers have manifested themselves out of the platform of Sonetta TV. But is it Sonetta's fault? You see, he was just a platform for these guys, and they came on, but it's not Sonetta's fault. You see what I'm saying? And so we got to take that in consideration. But yeah, man, it's really hard to help your people. Just like y'all know, come on, y'all know it's hard to help your family. You help your brother, you help your sister. Are they grateful? No, people are not grateful for you until you're gone. People don't seem to care until you're no longer available. until they no longer can benefit from your services or the things that you say. And that's when people become famous. People don't care about the artist until the artist die, right? People don't care about the revolutionary until the revolutionary die. But when the revolutionary is alive, he's evil, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, he's always a traitor, he's all sorts of things while he's alive. But when he dies and people get to sit back and reflect on what it is he was doing, you know, and all of a sudden he's this grand hero, and now you're praising him, there's a holiday and all this stuff. But back when he was alive, you didn't praise him, right? And we as human beings do that. We seem to deify. We wait for somebody to die or go away, then all of a sudden we see the position in which they were coming from. We see their intentions and their actions despite them not being perfect. And the thing is, us middlemen, us first ones going out there, putting ourselves out there, we're new. We're not experts at a lot of this stuff. We're learning, right? And then bringing you along on the journey. We're not experts. We didn't go to school for 10 years to be a Pan-African. Or we didn't go to school. A lot of us, we want to go there and do real estate and buy land. We didn't go to school for real estate. We're not real estate professionals over here for the most part, most of us, right? But you go over there trying to learn something new and then trying to incorporate other people in it. Sometimes there's mistakes, and then and people like myself and people like him, when they go out there and they make the mistakes, they're not given the benefit of the doubt. They're not given the benefit of the doubt because they're black, right? Because they look like you, and you're expecting, as a black person, you expect him to perform perfectly. You expect them to do it exactly the way they say it, which you should expect as a customer. But at the same time, in reality, we're, for the most part, we're just going out there trying our best to figure it out while bringing people along. Hopefully they can figure it out as well, So that's why, look, I can sell some land, and I can do the land thing. There's a lot of things I could do, but I just don't want to ruin my reputation. I think with this internet thing, reputation is important because that's the only thing we have to convince people of our positions or to follow us or to empathize with us, or the things that we say in the videos that we do. You ruin your rep. It's hard to get that back, guys. It's hard. Once you're marked with being a scammer or something like that, it's really hard to scrub that off. And I'm sure that gentleman, he wasn't about to sit there and let his livelihood be ruined by a few disgruntled, co-workers, employees, or former business partners who have an issue with them, who can come on YouTube and make video after video after video attacking them legally because YouTube allows that to happen, because TikTok allows that to happen, because Instagram allows that to happen, because Facebook allows that to happen. It allows anybody to be a judge of character. Like anybody can be judgmental. And that's the main thing on YouTube, right? What's the main thing on social media? People making their channels judging other people's actions and things that they say. Very easy to sit back and judge people, right? Especially when you don't do nothing. Especially when when you have nothing of note, nothing of accomplishment to show anybody else, but to sit there on camera, right, and just continuously judge others who are at least attempting to do something, whether perfect or not perfect. It doesn't take any effort at all. It takes no effort to be critical about other people. It takes no effort to come online every day and criticize black people for the things that they do wrong. It takes no talent. It takes no effort to come online every day and talk bad about black people. It takes no effort. It takes no talent to come online and criticize all the little bad things that black people do that's consistent with what everybody else does in the same situation or economic status. It takes no effort. All you have to do is be loud. All you have to do is have a little charisma, just a little bit, and know how to work the camera. And you could be a pseudo freaking critic expert, about black society or whatever, right? It doesn't take any talent. It does take talent to have your own, to think for yourself, to try to do things new, to do things, to not be a follower, to not just criticize, but to take actual action and put yourself up for scrutiny. It takes action it takes talent to do something like that, right? But it's just some people they're done with this, and they're done displaying their talents. They're done sharing their talents with people because people are ungrateful inherently. And it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing. People in general are just ungrateful, okay? So I understand why he's doing what he's doing. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to do the same thing. And I'm sure that's probably why a lot of African Americans who've been going to Africa for like 20 years, establishing businesses and institutions in schools and all sorts of great things that they can come on YouTube and make videos and prop themselves up and make themselves look good. I'm sure they can do that, but they decided not to because nobody wants to deal with the headache of their family constantly criticizing them or bashing them for whatever personal reasoning that they have. So that's my thought on the whole situation, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure I don't get put in that situation. That's why I'm so real and transparent, because I don't have the time or the energy to deal with nobody that's gonna come on the internet and make videos about me saying I'm doing something that I'm clearly not doing, right? Anytime somebody make a video about me, right, if it's the truth, you can just go on my channel and see I said it. I don't have to deny it, like, yeah, I said that and I'm doing that, right? If they say I'm not, if they make something up, it'll be so obvious because I'm so transparent that I'll be like, well, clearly that's not true, you know. Or they'll say something that's so out of whack that I'll ignore it because it doesn't even make sense at all. But for some reason, people don't make videos criticizing me very often, which is weird. I mean, everybody else got tons of videos of them getting criticized about anything, you know. Me, barely, you know, and I'm kind of offended about it because I'm like, well, I mean, I know people watch me. I know I'm here. I know a lot of y'all, but I don't get a bunch of criticism, and I just don't understand why. I would love to go back and forth with some of you guys on some topics that are worth my while, but whatever, you know. That's neither here or there. But all jokes aside, I totally understand why he's doing what he's doing, and I ain't mad at him. And he doesn't have to do anything, because we don't have to do it. I can go to Africa and do a whole bunch of stuff and not make a video. It don't make a difference. Everything I do in Africa has nothing to do with my YouTube. YouTube is not my vehicle for financial freedom. It's social media. I use it like social media. Like I would be on, literally the same thing I would have done on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm just doing it on YouTube exclusively because I get a few ducats. That's it, you know? And the things I talk about on YouTube are literally things I talk about in my daily life. It takes no effort for me to talk about the things that I talk about because I truly and honestly am passionate about it. It's not for show. This is real. So, but anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, but that's all I really got to say about that. You know, I respect the brother. He's a good brother. He's doing good work out there. You know, I just hope that, you know, don't let the naysayers discourage him and just keep doing your thing. You know, he doesn't have to prove anything. He's done his thing. Let these other ones come out here and give it a shot. You know, it's gonna take many of us to go out here and do this before it becomes a regular thing. Before we have a bridge that connects both the diaspora and the continental Africans to the point of efficiency to where it's not an issue anymore. It's a thing of the past back when we first started to figure all this stuff out, you know? So anyway, that's all I got to say for now, guys. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach them. I'm out.